Huge challenges for Professor Muhammad Yunus. Joining me now on this broadcast, Junaid Khan is a senior journalist who joins us from Bangladesh. With me is Ambassador Veena Sikri. She served as India's High Commissioner to Bangladesh. And Mr. S.K. Sood is former Additional Director General of the Border Security Force, joining us on the broadcast. I want to begin by asking you, Mr. Khan, the message of the Indian Prime Minister congratulating Professor Yunus, talking about working together, peace, security and stability being important, at the same time asking him to ensure that Hindus and other minorities are protected in Bangladesh, something that Professor Yunus spoke of himself. How would Bangladesh be viewing this, sir?
Actually, after 5th August night, there is no such incident reported that the minority people being attacked. After 5th August night, there is no incident. So it is kind of after 5th of night, there is no incident. People of Bangladesh and and the political parties, they are protecting them as per my knowledge. After that, the government, which is taking charges newly, they are also concerned about the minorities and the Army leaders also. Professor Yunus, he arrived, he made a press briefing in airport. He said if there is any violation, he will think there is no need of him. So this is very clear to the Bangladeshi people that violence is not the answer of this all of this. After 5th of August, there is actually very little violence. After that, taking charge of this new government.
And yet, Ambassador Sikri, there are thousands who are still at the India-Bangladesh border, minorities, especially Hindus, who want to come to India to remain safe here. That would show that even if the violence may have been restricted, at least now information is not filtering out, the fear still remains, Ambassador Sikri. What do you make first of the message of the new Bangladeshi leader and of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's message to him, ma'am?
Well, I must say that our Prime Minister's message to Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus reflects clearly a prime concern of the Indian government, because this is the feedback we're getting right up to today morning. It is not a question of something having ended on the 6th of August. Right up to today morning, there are photographs of lynchings, there are photographs of homes being destroyed, and not only all over the countryside, completely random and orchestrated, perhaps, as they are saying, by the Jamaat-e-Islami. And then, not in addition to all of this, our Prime Minister has said in his message, return to normalcy, because in Dhaka itself, the Indian Cultural Center has been destroyed. Yes. It's been vandalized, it's been burnt, it's been destroyed completely, number one. Number two, the situation of security regarding Indian personnel in Dhaka is so serious that our non-essential staff from the High Commission of India have been sent back to Delhi, and they have reached back in Delhi. And number three, as of today morning, the security situation is so bad that Indian services providing visas for Bangladeshi citizens to visit India has been suspended. Because of the security situation, there is no way of assuring the security situation for the Indian the people operating the Indian visa offices. So I must say that the situation remains very, very fluid and very difficult. And that is why Prime Minister Modi in his message has reflected these two concerns: return to normalcy and then, the attack on the Hindu minorities.
And ensure safety. Absolutely, ma'am. And, on India Today, whatever we are able to verify, we are putting that information out in public domain, especially in the light of this entire ecosystem, even in our country, that's trying to deny the ground realities. And one would wonder why they would do something like that unless they're working in tandem with those radical Islamists of Jamaat-e-Islami in Bangladesh.
Absolutely, you're quite right on that, because I myself said that, organizations like the BBC and the New York Times and Amnesty International, who at the drop of a hat of any demonstration, any, untoward event in India, raise their hands and, and wring their hands about democracy and so on. And they have completely ignored this violence against Hindu minorities in Dhaka. They've completely ignored the killings of the Awami League people in Dhaka, and they've ignored the destruction of Indian community property in Dhaka and all around the countryside. So actually, I don't know what this omerta of silence is about, but certainly it has caused a great deal of worry to us, and we certainly would like to continue our relationship with Bangladesh. Our High
Yes.
Commissioner attended the swearing in, but we have noted, of course, that in the interim government sworn in by Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, we have seen that the head of the Hifazat-e-Islam and the Naib-e Emir and Islamia Loan and Bangladesh advisor, he's an important member. And this is
Yes.
the organization that at one time had good relations with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, but then was taken over. And this is the organization that organized the events against Prime Minister Modi when he visited in 2021 on the 50th anniversary of the relationship, the Golden Jubilee celebrations of the 1971 Liberation War. So, all these matters are of great concern, and we certainly hope that we can continue the interaction and positive.
Because the apprehension is this could just be the trailer. That horrifying movie could still be ahead. God forbid if radical Islamists are at the helm of affairs and Professor Muhammad Yunus is only the figurehead for the world to see that there's a Nobel laureate in charge. But let's just see what happens over the days and weeks ahead. But Mr. Sood, with over 1,000 Bangladeshi Hindus and others at the borders, it must be a very, very difficult situation for the border security force, especially in some places the border is very porous and people can just walk across.
I am in agreement with you that it's a difficult situation at the borders, but it is at present, as per my information, it is confined to an area in the North Bengal.
Correct.
And my information also says that the refugees, the people who are trying to enter India, are not all Hindus. They are all mixed people, especially though these people are Awami League workers who have been at the receiving end of the violence by the people out there after Sheikh Hasina abdicated and came to India. So, and it's a known fact that most of the Hindus, whatever percentage it is there, are supporters of Awami League. So it might appear that they are being targeted, but that is probably because they have been supporting Awami League, and
that justifies their being killed. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. The Islamists can give us that explanation, but does that mean that those who do not vote for a particular party, when there's a change in regime, they'll be killed? This is completely unacceptable. But I want to bring in Junaid Khan.
I'm not saying that.
No, but that sounds like justification, Mr. Sood. But Mr. Khan, now that there is a new leadership in place, Ambassador Sikri was pointing out that how the situation does remain fluid. India had to withdraw some of our non-essential staff from Bangladesh. Is there hope that now that there is a man at the helm, there would be improvement? Or will the Jamaat-e-Islami and organizations like that demand their pound of flesh since they got rid of Sheikh Hasina?
Okay, I completely agree with Mr. Sood. He understands the situation, and I want to be very clear that there is a common mindset for the Jamaat Islami and the BNP people that the Hindus, the minorities are the allies of Awami League.
So they should be killed if Sheikh Hasina is ousted.
No. Let me clear.
Their houses should be burnt since Sheikh Hasina is ousted.
Let me be clear, please. So the first time, at 5th of August night, this was a mob who destroyed or looted the Hindus and Awami Leagues and parallelly the Gana Bhavan. I was the only person who was in Gana Bhavan. I saw the situation, the vandalism, but the current situation now and the current Bangladesh is not like this, as my knowledge.
So
As
was
I'm
the
a trained
Indira
journalist.
Gandhi Cultural Center, sir, I want to understand from you, because, you know, we've been hearing a lot of terror apologists from Pakistan, in Pakistan's context. I would shudder to think a situation like that happening with Bangladesh. You know, and nobody would want Bangladesh to go the Afghanistan way either. But when organizations like Jamaat-e-Islami rule the roost, and then there is justification that Hindus were killed because they are seen as supporters of Sheikh Hasina, that's like Taliban takeover and saying that we only killed those people who were supporting the other regime. You know,
The
it sounds...
Cultural Center is situated.
The Indian Cultural Center was supporting Sheikh Hasina, or was it supporting the people of
No,
Bangladesh?
Indira Gandhi Cultural Center is located nearby the Awami League office, and not only the Indira Gandhi Cultural Center, there is other houses and other offices and other business center also burnt down and looted. I don't want to say like the only Hindu people are looted or the attack. They attacked only the people, those who are allied with Awami League and those who are
Sir,
relatives of Awami League.
India helped Mukti Bahini, and people of Bangladesh get freedom from Pakistanis. And an Indian
Yes,
Cultural Center,
absolutely.
Ambassador Sikri, was set on fire. And if those who set Indian Cultural Center on fire think that that's the Awami League office, that just shows how narrow that thinking has become in Bangladesh. And if they're burning down Bangabandhu, you know, what does one say?
I mean, that's what I'd like to ask, because one of the main points of the Jamaat-e-Islami and the BNP has been that criticizing Sheikh Hasina because her government was not inclusive and she didn't allow participation in the election. But now the first thing that is being done is to kill Hindus because you think they're supporting Awami League, and to say that, you know, we must finish off the people from the Awami League because in future elections there should be nobody else except the BNP and the Jamaat-e-Islami. So I think this line of thinking, which is being repeated on all the channels, the same arguments by our colleagues from Bangladesh, is worrisome, because we are looking forward to develop the relationship, but we are being faced with an example that we are killing Hindus because they support the Awami League, and that we are killing Awami League because they were in the Awami League. So how are you going to have something which is different from what you were blaming the previous government for?
Yes.
You were wanting inclusivity. When BNP did not participate in the election, you said it's not participatory.
Ma'am, but in your appreciation, will the situation improve with Professor Muhammad Yunus now at the helm of affairs, or will he only be a figurehead, and the Jamaat and BNP and such elements closer to Pakistan, seen as hostile to India, be in power?
Well, I think that certainly with Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus coming back and making the statements that he did, we will see on the next 24, 36 hours, we should know whether it is his will that will prevail or the Jamaat-e-Islami, because Jamaat-e-Islami has already, in the last 3-4 days of no government, they've already appointed people in the army, they've already appointed people in the police, and they've already taken very significant measures to establish their control over the situation. So now we have to see over the next few days, is it going to be a return to a democratic situation, a return to a constitutional democracy, or is it going to be some other kind of a situation? We are going to watch it very carefully.
Okay.
But certainly with the message, we would like to continue the friendship. Yeah.
Absolutely. India wants great relationship with Bangladesh, as always, but will the establishment in Bangladesh be in a position to reciprocate, or will they be more beholden to those on our western borders? We'll be tracking that story very closely. Mr. Sood, Mr. Khan, and Ambassador Sikri, as always, many thanks for joining me.